Even as a writer, there was one thing that happened in here that even I did not expect to happen. Hey guys, welcome back to Everything Anime Podcast. I'm your host Shinry. Here at the Everything Anime Podcast, talk about everything from anime, manga, video games, TV shows, and what a relevant topic we're probably talking about. Today's video is on the ending of Demon Slayer. That is right, we are done with Demon Slayer. This is chapters 195 to I think 205. The very ending of Demon Slayer, and then at the very end we're going to talk about the ending, and I might mention the one shot because nothing really happened, but we'll get there when we get there. So for starters, let's talk about just how amazing all this is. Maybe I should say that today. I'll say my final thoughts towards the end. That makes more sense. Okay, so when the chapter opens up, we get Nezuko remembering the day that Muzan killed her entire family. We get it like from her perspective, like whenever she was all her family was getting ripped up and killed. So Muzan did just go there randomly to slaughter her family. Like it wasn't like he was just like, bitches, I'm about to kill him. He went out to make more demons. Like, he was already tired of the 12 Kizuki. He was like, y'all are useless as fuck anyway. He's like, y'all be getting killed. Y'all ain't killed the Hashira. Y'all ain't found the Blue Spider Lily. Which, by the way, we never see the Blue Spider Lily in this show ever or manga. Lost plot point, I'm guessing. I don't know. But he was trying to make a demon that could resist the sunlight, i.e. Nezuko and all of Tanjiro's family. He didn't know Nezuko would survive when he injected him with demonic blood because the rest of the family just died, but he didn't even care that Nezuko turned into a demon. He was like, oh, well, whatever. You just another failed experiment. Just another demon, mindless demon that's going to run off and cause him luck. I don't give a shit. Go ahead. All these memories keep flooding through her. And she thinks back to like the family that she had, the friends that she met along the way, before finally and beautifully Nezuko returns to being human. I love this. I could only imagine if you was reading this week to week, like I read One Piece, My Hero Academia, Black Clover, how fucking, or Bleach, when Bleach was a thing, how fucking exciting that must have been to like just, oh my god, see her fully turn human, her crying and her eyes back to normal, and just remembering everything. So beautiful. Such a beautiful fucking panel. And of course, we don't linger on it too long. That's already fucking amazing and impressive. We switch back over to Muzan in the final battle, and there are 35 minutes to dawn. We have stalled this motherfucker for an hour and a half outside already, or like an hour. 55 minutes, whatever. We ain't got to get into the proper logistics. We stalled him for about an hour. 35 more minutes, the sun's going to come up, and this motherfucker be dead. The heir of all demons, the king of all demons, the Klaus Michelson of Demon Slayer, almost to the Vampire Diaries. If we can get this motherfucker to stay out here till the sun rises, it's all over. All demons in the world will die. He is the original. We won. We succeeded. And again, you got to remember, the only ones still standing are like right now is Tanjiro and Igor. The rest of the Hashira, as far as we know, are down. And so he goes for a desperate move to save himself as he did 400 years ago. He tries splitting himself up when he fought Yushiro, the swordsman from 300, 400 years ago, whatever like that. The swordsman that almost killed him. He tries doing that. And I was like, this is a now or never moment. I was like, this is only chapter 195. We got 205 chapters to go. What the fuck's about to happen? Is he about to escape? Like, what the fuck y'all about to do? Is Tanjiro about to cut him in 1,800 pieces? No, it's a little bit different. So it turns out Lady Tamio, even from the dead, ain't finished with him yet. Because not only did the drug turn him human, cause him to age rapidly, it also prevents him from dividing. And I love it because she's acts super petty. She's like, oh yeah, there's also 4 effects. Not only does the third effect take place, stop you from dividing, but the moment the third effect takes place, the fourth effect actually kicks in. And so the fourth effect is cell destruction. So you know how like Muzan could destroy demons like inside out by using his demonic blood? She's now used that on him. Like, your blood cells are destroying themselves. Like, it's killing you inside out. That was a good twist. Like, I love that even though characters have died, they still play a major role. Like Shinobu fighting the demon that killed her sister. Tanjiro's family always being there for him. The master touching his son's back, telling him to let Nezuko go. The dead are always helping out in this. They basically like the Force Ghosts from Star Wars, like except that they still relevant. They still helping. So I thought that was pretty good. I also love how Tamio plays coy with him, and there's all lovey-dovey all over Muzan. She's like rubbing him, and while telling him she's the reason he's about to die, she's like, "Oh yeah, bitch, I'm the reason you're about to die. You made me kill my family after you turned me into a demon. Well, guess what? Now you are about to die for the first time. You're about to really experience death for the first time." Tanjiro and Igor think this is go time, and they prepare to finish Muzan. They prepare to go for like Muzan's vital, his like 7 hearts and 5 brains, or whatever the fuck that was. I think that's what it is. But he reveals he has another backup plan to keep them at bay. In the manga, it looks like lightning, but I'm sure it looks like something else in the anime. It's really hard to tell. I'm guessing he blasts them back with lightning, like try to like keep them at bay. Whatever it was, though, it exhausted Tanjiro and Igor to the point where they are struggling to catch their breath. So again, the stakes are at their highest. Boruto writers, learn from this, and this finished a long time ago. Learn from this final battle. This is how you write stakes. As Muzan again goes to retreat with now 30 minutes to dawn, I love that Inosuke is the one who blocks him off this time, because you know Inosuke is our boy. Okay, Inosuke is my boy. First it was, Zenitsu, then it was Inosuke, and then it was the Sound Hashira Tengen. These are my boys. Okay, they my niggas. Oh, and the Mist Hashira, I love him too. Inosuke is pissed off because, like before with Shinobu, the Demon Slayers Muzan killed, Inosuke considered them his friends, and he wants Muzan to pay for their deaths with his life. Again, these are relationships formed off screen that wish we had saw on screen or in the manga panels. I know, like, this world was rushed, this series was short, but like we didn't really get to see Zenitsu get to that stronger form, the 6th form. We didn't see, Inosuke form these bonds with all these other Demon Slayers, form this bond with Shinobu. These are off-screen relationships that, with a few more chapters, 50 more sprinkled throughout, just have them hang out, have them meet each other, have them do something fun. Let us experience them becoming friends, because I don't feel it the way that you're trying to display it. It's kind of like the Rookie 9 and Naruto. Like, you just got to assume they're strong as they are, because we barely see them past the original Naruto. They got all pushed to the side in Naruto Shippuden, unless you were Naruto or Sasuke. So, then Zenitsu joins the battle to help him, which is also great. It's awesome to see how much Zenitsu's evolved, especially being so afraid of demons in the beginning of the series. And, learning that 6th form, creating his own 6th form, because Thunder form only has 5 forms. His brother could use every form but the first, and Zenitsu could use every form, but he could only use the 1st form, and now he had his own form, the 6th form. So I love seeing Zenitsu involved. And this would be even great if Tanjiro was involved. I thought it was going to end with like Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke all fighting him. I was like, okay, monster trio for Demon Slayer, You 3 are the main characters, take them down. Maybe Nezuko shows up and he's like shocked the last minute or something, but I don't know. But they weren't the only ones who haven't given up yet. All the Hashira are slowly making their way back to the battle despite weakened and exhausted, which is great to see. Like they're like, this. We got 30 minutes up. We can do this. We about to die anyway, and this has been our whole life goal. If we can't stop Muzan here, he is going to just create more demons, and we're all going to be dead. The Demon Slayer Corps will be done for. I also love that this is the first battle that Inosuke, Tanjiro, and Zenitsu all fight together in. I know they fought together against like the brother and sister duo. I don't remember their names, but it was like the dude that like was all skinny and shit, and then the sister Daya, whatever her name was, she was like the beautiful one. They kind of fought all together in that, but Tanjiro teamed up with Tengen, and then Zenitsu and Inosuke fought the sister. So, I wish, like, this is the first one they actually all fight together. And it makes sense. This is the final battle. In the entertainment district, I already talked about this. Well, Mugen Train, they were also together, but they usually were split up in pairs again. Like, in Mugen Train, it was, like, Tanjiro and Inosuke versus Michael Jackson Demon, and then it was, like, Zenitsu, Rengoku and Nezuko versus like the tentacles and the protecting people in the train. So they all have fought together at some point, but not like in unison at the same time. They were just like split off into different groups and stuff like that. It's giving me like, because I feel like all the Straw Hats are going to fight against Blackbeard. I feel like it's going to be like Naruto and all of Naruto against Madara and Obito. Like I feel like this is that point. This is that final, like Aizen and Bleach, like all of the captains fought against Aizen. Like I feel like that. Although I wish Ichigo's friend, hopefully in 1,000 Year Blood War, Chad or Hime will help Ichigo fight Yuha Bak, since Yuha Bak's the real final villain. I know Aizen was the pre-final villain, but and Aizen was a better villain anyway, in my opinion, just personally. But I'm hoping that's how it ends. Eventually, Tanjiro pins him against the wall with his blade while the girl, she tries to hold off one of his arms from attacking Tanjiro. It doesn't work, but it was long enough to buy him a few seconds. Meanwhile, Saname takes out the other arm, and that's when Muzan splits his face in half, which was really disgusting. It reminds me of them like face eaters out of like that Alien movie, or well, no, what's up with the Thing, when the Thing splits his face open? It reminded me of that. I was really disgusted in that panel. I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're going for, but it looked kind of gross. It looked kind of nasty. He tries to eat Tanjiro, like literal face off, and I was like, yeah, I even put in my notes that was super gross. He's like really desperate to win. He does not want to die. Understandably, he old as fuck, and he has. This is his first time being back to a corner. He does not want to lose. He's like, even if I do lose, I'm taking Tanjiro with me. Like if I die, you dying with me. Like we gonna die together, Tanjiro. You are the bane of my existence right now. But that's when Igor leaps in and takes the bite instead, just in time too, as they mentioned, dawn is beginning to break. So somehow 30 minutes have just passed, which is fine. The stakes are already high as fuck anyway. But I was thinking, Igor, you cannot die, bitch. You still have to tell Kanjuro that you love her, and she got to tell you that she loves you too. Like, don't not die in this moment, bitch. Do not do that to me. I love the intense fear on Muzan's face as the sun begins to rise. He's like, oh shit, I'm fucked. That shit made me laugh. Again, great fucking stakes. But I knew it wasn't over yet. I knew it wasn't over yet. At this moment, he's desperate as ever, and he does anything to escape their hold, including crushing the building behind them, which is the first thing I would have done. Like, if Tanjiro got me crushed to a building and all the other demon slayers are right there, like, and they got me pinned against the building, just crush the building and kill everybody like around you. They're still human. This ain't Dragon Ball Z. This ain't like One Piece where you can just jump out of a building. That first thing I would have done is crush the building behind me. The blast he uses knocks back the Hashira, but Tanjiro, although he does lose his right arm whole, like Tanjiro loses his arm, he remains keeping his blade inside of Muzan with his good hand. At this point, they're both desperate. Tanjiro's like, blade, turn red, like finish him off, because that's the whole thing that's been happening in this whole fight, is that like the blades when they turn red. Which Tanjiro's blade did turn red originally in Muzan Train, but that was because Nezuko, no, it turned red in the Swordsmith Village because Nezuko lit it on fire with her blood demon art. But blades that turn red are supposed to be like stronger, like their strongest form. And so Tanjiro's like, just turn red, bitch, turn red. Like, this is a moment to kill him. Do not let him get away. And despite that, like, he's keeping Muzan here, Muzan can still fight. Like, Muzan's being desperate. That's when Gyu appears behind Tanjiro, and again, a great callback, because Gyu was the one that found Tanjiro in the beginning of the anime, whenever he was trying to protect his sister Nezuko from him butchering his sister. And he grabs hold of the back of his blade, acting as the missing piece of Tanjiro's arm, and they, like, together are stabbing Muzan. And then it turns red. I was like, okay, this is a perfect way to end Muzan. Gyu and Tanjiro together, the ones who started the series together. This is a great callback. It's like a real full circle moment, because, Muzan created the demon that killed Gyu's sister. Muzan killed Tanjiro's family directly, but even if he was trying to turn them into demons that could resist the sun, he still killed Tanjiro's family, or would have turned them into demons. So again, Muzan, this is your payback, bitch. In a glorious panel, Muzan begins to burn in the sunlight, crying out in agony and pain, but then he still got one more desperate move. I was loving the fact that Muzan's face was getting burned. He was like, oh, bitch, he was like, oh, this hurts. And I was like, he's still not going down, even with the sun out. I love it because it just makes the stakes even more higher, but I was like, how is this motherfucker gonna die? Bitch, that's when he creates this gigantic, like, baby cocoon around his body to shield him and protect his true self. Now, the baby's getting burned. It's still like a demonic form of him, but he's hoping to burrow underground while the baby shield is burning away. He just needed a place to hide while he was trying to bury in the ground. And I was like, bitch, you had this move. Why'd you do this before too? Y'all got him. I was like, do not let him escape now. If he gets underground, bitch, he is gone. We not getting him back up. I was like, literal chapters left. Maybe like 8, 9, 7 chapters. I don't know where I was at, but I was like, bitch, do not let him get away. This is the moment to kill him. And thankfully, the Kakashi and a few other demon slayers began tossing anything they can at him. They throw chairs, bookshelves, anything to slow his ass down. Because that baby's like, I'm forgetting to mention, the baby's crawling to escape the demon slayers, Igor, Gyu, or I think it's just Tanjiro and Gyu at this point. It's crawling away while Muzan's trying to bury it on the ground, and they're like, bitch, no, stop. Anything they can, they throwing it at that baby. They're like, bitch, die. Literally. They even at one point ran him with a car, which made me laugh. Like, I was like, I know this is a serious situation, but that shit made me laugh. They ran his ass with a car. They really are desperate. This is stakes. Once again, Boruto writers, take notes. This is how you write a very dramatic scene, a very dramatic war, a very dramatic villain who you have to stop at all costs. Still, Muzan tries to crawl away and survive. The baby's crawling over all that junk and shit. And I was tired of his ass at this point. I was like, Muzan, bitch, you gotta die. Bitch, your time is up. The grandfather clock has stopped for you. Big Ben said, bitch, it's midnight. Cinderella, take the shoes off, bitch. Your carriage, your pumpkin carriage is now just a basic pumpkin. Your horses are now rats. Muzan, it's time to die. The bells have tolled for you. Thankfully, Saname and Gyome are still mobile, which we remember them heading back to the battle from previously being treated, and they knocked back the giant baby. So yeah, Gyome and Saname, they were healed by that cat, if you don't remember from my last video. And again, like, everybody's on their last legs, but they all fighting. They doing everything they can. And then the obvious plan, Muzan, like I said, he's trying to bury his way underground. I don't think they revealed they get to this part. And I'm like, ugh, bitch. And this meant like he's using the last everything he's got. Like, Muzan is like, the last thing you think of was like the bury on the ground. And it almost feels like if he would get away, it almost felt like he was gonna get away too. And I mean, like, every Hashira is like on their final attacks against him, but it almost felt like Muzan's about to get away completely. Like, it was like really giving desperate. I was like, this is it. If Muzan gets into the ground, we lost. We done. We lost. Demon Slayer is going to end with Muzan having won. But Tanjiro, who we haven't seen this entire time, because you got to remember, he's still inside with his red blade pierced inside of Muzan. Tanjiro was inside that baby too. And which I did not even know, because I had forgot about Tanjiro, because I'm just watching this big ass baby crawl, and Muzan, they talk about Muzan burning underground, and I was like, I thought Tanjiro was dead or something. Like, I don't know where the bitch was. But his red blade finally burns Muzan, and finally Muzan is forced to face the music. Muzan faces the sun. He finally fucking burns in the sunlight. And in one final glorious full color panel, everything Demon Slayer stood for, everything Demon Slayers have sacrificed, it all came to fruition. Everything they fought so hard for has died and comes to a glorious ending. Muzan is dead. Everyone cheers in a really great panel, and I love it. I had to clap for that. That was the most intense battle I had ever seen, ever read, ever witnessed. The stakes were so fucking high. From way back in like chapter 1, I think the fight started like 184 or something like that. 20 fucking chapters of this epic fight was incredible, and we still not done yet. There was another fucking twist coming. But just imagine, just Hogwarts, the final battle in what was it? The Deathly Hallows Part 2. Naruto, the war against Madara and Obito. Bleach, the war against Aizen. One Piece, probably gonna be a giant ass war too. I could not but feel happy. This was amazing. This made Demon Slayer so much worth reading to me. But there's still some more. But then we shift over to the Hashira. The first is Gyome, who they try helping out, but he tells them to save their supplies, save the people younger than him, like their lives mean more than his. And again, I'm like, dude, you're apparently 27 years old. Why are you talking like you an old man ready to die? And as he dies, there's a full circle moment with all the children who he thought abandoned. There's a full circle moment with all the children that he thought was like abandoning him that night. Remember, like, his backstory was that, like, he was trying to protect those children from that demon, even though he's a blind man. And he thought the children, like, left his ass, except, like, one or two. One child left and snuck out that night and brought the demon there that got all the children killed in the first place. And then Gyome did protect one little girl, sensing all those other little kids died, but the little girl called him a monster and said he did it because she covered her eyes the whole time that the demon attacked. and he went to jail for that. But no, the children tell Guillaume in a very cute panel, like, we were running to find help. You were blind. We were trying to help you. We knew you couldn't fight that demon. We tried to fight him ourselves. That is a very cute reveal. Very, not even late, full circle, because I did thought those kids abandoned him, and it was that little shit's fault that got them killed in the first place. But very great full circle moment. Very, very fucking powerful. I really love that. So, you know, they also told him that they love him and they've been waiting for him this entire time to apologize to him in heaven or in limbo, and they all go to heaven together. Very cute. It reminds me of the father and son that went with Baby Demon to hell. I don't like that they went to hell with Baby Demon, because Baby Demon was a demon when he did all evil stuff. He didn't do evil stuff as a kid, but his family, mother, father were still there for him. You know, so I love that. Like I said, Demon Slayer is all about the spirits and family and people that you love still waiting for you on the other side. Very powerful writing. Great job on that writer. Now, the next two are Igor and Conjuro, who are both dying, but they want to die in each other's arms, and they admit that they love each other, and that he says, like, I fell in love with you the day that I met you, and Igor says that, like, she made him feel normal. As we all know, Igor had a terrible past, as we just found out in the last video, and Conjuro and he always loved Conjuro because of the way she always looked at him. Or no, Conjuro loved him because of the way he always looked at her. So they loved each other. They finally got to admit it, and they died in each other's arms. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get back to that. We're going to full circle to that when we get to the time skip, because something confused me. But it seems that they died together in each other's arms. And because Guillaume died, well, no, something does confirm that they died, actually. So put a pin in that, because we do find out they did die. We found out a lot of people died. We have to find out more people died. But yes, Igor and Conjuro died in each other's arms. They admit that they love each other. Very fucking great. Very fucking powerful. Sanome is next. He sees Genya and his siblings in the light, and he wants to go there, but he's standing in darkness with his mother. And now I realize, reading this, we never found out how or why their mother was turned into a demon. Again, this is like some stuff off screen that we wish we had got more information about, but we don't. But yeah, we never found out why she's turned a demon. I know that. But the reason why she's in the darkness and not afraid to step into light is because she's sad that she hurt her children. So I believe she was turned into a demon against her will, and I want to believe that. I'm going to stick with that, because, like, we don't know why she was turned into a demon, but we know that she loved her children. We know that her husband beat her and shit like that. And so, yeah, Genya is in heaven with his siblings. That's what the light represents. And Sanome is in limbo, and then the mother's apparently in hell. But what's worse is that, we're going to talk about that in a second, but Sanome says that he misses her. Though she's like, he's like, don't worry, I'll go to hell with you, so you're not alone. But don't forget who's also in hell. The father that beat her. Their asshole of a father, he cast Sanome back into the human world, but I hate that he still had a hold of their mother. I wish Sanome had threw his ass back into hell and tossed his mother to heaven, because I don't like that it ends with, like, her going to hell, even though she was a demon. Again, Baby Demon, going back to Baby Demon did all the evil stuff after he was a demon. He didn't do that. He wasn't evil as a human. She was not evil as a human. If you were evil as a human and then became a demon, that's different. But why send her to hell with that asshole? And again, you'd be happy with his siblings. I didn't like that. I would have changed that if I wrote that. So I don't like that. I wish Sanome had killed his ass again, even though he died and is in hell. I wish he would have cut his ass anyway. That would have been more satisfied and let him drag his mama to hell. Asuko Inosuke is alive, which I love, and Zenitsu is alive too, gushing to tell the Kakashi about his future wife Nezuko he fought so hard for, which immediately they shout back, she's not your wife, which made me laugh. Gyu also survived, and he looks over to check on Tanjiro, but it seems like the hero of the story might actually have died. That would surprise me if Tanjiro had actually been killed, but we're going to talk about that in a second. But yeah, Tanjiro was being limp, okay? I thought like he was going to die, and Nezuko was going to take over the final parts of the story. But Nezuko arrives at this moment, and Gyu apologizes that once again he's failed to protect them. Like, he's like, I couldn't protect you, Nezuko, from being killed by Muzan, or turned into a demon by Muzan, and now I couldn't protect your brother. Your brother died. Now, I was wondering if this is actually going to stick, because there were still a few chapters left. So yeah, I didn't have it in my notes that, like, I thought this was going to stick. I thought Tanjiro was actually going to be dead, and we were in the story with Nezuko, like, just, you know, being grateful and happy. And maybe the spirit of her brother would watch over her. But of course not. But not only did I not expect a Yu Yu Hakusho Yusuke twist, Muzan had a change of heart. Now hold on, because I know you're confused. I know you're like, what the fuck you mean he had a change of heart? Did his heart grow 3 sides in that moment?
Then the Grinch thought of something. he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas,
He thought.
doesn't come from a star. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
Help me! I'm feeling...
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day.
What's happening to me? I'm all toasty inside. And I'm leaking. Oh, Matt. I love you.
No. He wants to save Tanjiro by giving him all of his power and blood to make him immune to sunlight. He wants to turn Tanjiro into the king of demons. He wants Tanjiro to become Yusuke from He wants Tanjiro to become Yusuke from Yu Yu Hakusho.
I've waited a long time for this.
The king of demons. Now, I did not expect that. But it's not for a noble reason. He doesn't want to turn Tanjiro into the king of demons because he wants Tanjiro to live. No, he wants Tanjiro to kill all the demon slayers. He's like, you are perfect. You killed me. You strong as fuck. You are the epitome of all of my enemies. You're gonna finish this for me. I'm going to live through you. You're going to kill these motherfuckers for me. And I was like, I highly doubt Tanjiro was going to be the final boss. But at that point, I was like, who knows? There was still about 5-6 chapters left. And he doesn't seem to have any human consciousness. But Tanjiro does begin to attack like almost immediately. Even regrowing his arm back. Because, that's the demon's thing. And Also, the most powerful demons can form their arm limbs back immediately. That's why they like. I think they were scared of Nezuko at first because they were like, Nezuko must be a high level demon because growing your limbs back that quickly, that's not lower rank demon level stuff. Hearing this news shocks Inosuke and Zenitsu, and they realize they're gonna have to be forced to kill their best friend. Everybody realizes they're gonna be forced to kill Tanjiro. Now, this was even bigger mindfucked. I was like, is this how Demon Slayer ends? You guys are going to be forced to kill Tanjiro, the hero of the story, y'all's best friend, Nezuko's brother, Nezuko's sibling, in front of her. Is this how Demon Slayer ends? It was insane. And Tanjiro's form and look, design, bitch, crazy. And understandably, when it comes down to it, Inosuke, he hesitates. He's like, we're left on a cliffhanger that he's willing to die to like, he's willing to let Tanjiro kill him because he doesn't want to kill his best friend. And I was like, I'm sure it's going to open up with Nezuko stopping him and it like a reverse full cycle of the story where like Nezuko's like, Tanjiro, don't. And like she brings her brother back by like, you know, like calling out to him. Like how like Tanjiro brought Nezuko back to humanity by like, you know, being there for her, like being her sibling and telling her he loved her. I was like, is that going to happen? Is that a full circle moment? I was almost right. While it doesn't immediately turn Tanjiro back to human, Nezuko is the one that temporarily stops him. He then tries to kill his sister. Like, he's like, bitch die. But Inosuke and Zenitsu join in to stop their friend's rampage. But Tanjiro blows him away and then takes on this incredibly insane form where he's like on all forms, like Doc Ock tentacles, like Naruto, 4 tails, 8 tails, whatever, you know, extending out of his back. And Nezuko is under him, hugging him. It looks insanely cool. Like, when I show you that panel, bro, it blew my mind. Like, she's like, doesn't want to let him go. I think he bit into her shoulder, too, at one point. I might have skipped over that. But, yeah, he bit into her shoulder or something like that. But she's, like, holding on to him, doesn't want to let him go. Yeah, I actually mentioned this. There was a Swift panel where he bit Nezuko and drank human blood, and that's where he lost control and got his new form. So yeah, the reason why Tanjiro lost control is because he drank human blood. That's what it was worried that would happen to Nezuko if she had drank Saname's blood back in the Butterfly Mansion. Now he then even formed something like a Biju blast from the center of his mouth. It was given Naruto 4 tails mode. It was given that. But it was really cool because I haven't seen it in this series before, but he's the king of demons now. Like, Tanjiro is like full on king of demons, about to do a Biju blast, Demon Slayer blast on everybody. Plus, since she's immune to sunlight, there's a chance that like he's immune to red blades now. So how can we kill him? Like, Tanjiro is out in the sun right now. He is not getting burned by the sun. He is immune to sunlight, and so he's probably gonna be immune to red blades. How do you kill him? Do you got to cut off his head? Is it gonna be that easy? Because we know all upper rank demons, you cut off their head, and they sometimes don't die that easily. Nezuko tries to block the blast with her hand, and I think it was somewhat successful, but her hand gets destroyed in the process. Understandably, Nezuko is human again, and how she stopped that little blast, how she stopped that big ass blast with her hand, I don't know, but she did. She lost her hand though. Now, if you're wondering why he didn't just kill Nezuko, I kind of wondered about this too. I was like, if you're the king of demons and you are lost control, why don't you just kill Nezuko? She's like, she's under you. Why don't you just kill her? But in the next panel, Gyu mentions this as well. So breaking the fourth wall ahead of time, Gyu even mentions this. I mean, you just drank her blood. Why is she still clinging to your neck? That's what I was wondering. He believes that Tanjiro could be trying to fight his instincts, kind of like Nezuko did when she was turned into a demon. Like he's trying to resist Muzan's influence. He's trying to resist this demonic form that's taking over him. But thankfully, there's still a better narrative reason. Kano has one final drug that Lady Tamio and Shinobu made before they died in case the drug that turned Nezuko back into human wasn't enough. So they had a third backup plan. Will this actually turn Tanjiro human, or will he break it? I didn't know yet. Like, she's running at him with like this like needle, kind of like in Van Helsing when she's got the syringe to turn Van Helsing back from a werewolf into a human, and like she does stab him, but she dies.
God forgive me. He's dead.
I thought something like that was going to happen. But she does manage to like stab him, but at the same time he kills Kano. That was surprising. So yeah, literally Van Helsing, like I said, like literally Van Helsing. Very sad, but now she'll be with her sisters. She'll be with Shinobu, and Shinobu's sister, which is kind of dark. But I mean, it's beautiful at the same time because that's how Demon Slayer goes. All Demon Slayers already accept the fact that they will die the moment they join the Demon Slayer Corps. They know, like, fighting demons, like, I'm going to die at some point. This is my life. I'm willing to die to stop all demons. And, you know, Tanjiro taught her to speak and stand up for herself and make her own decisions. So it's kind of full circle for her. In a way, freeing her just as he did for her the same way. Like, Tanjiro freed her, allowed her to learn to speak for herself and be true to herself. And now she's setting Tanjiro free, turning him back to human. As Tanjiro begins to regain his humanity, the last bits of demonic Muzan try to convince him to remain a demon. Muzan's like really desperate. He's like clinging on to Tanjiro's soul. He's like, please, no, don't go. I need you. Basically, I love you in a way. Like, I need you. Don't leave me. But of course, we know Tanjiro has a pure heart, and none of Muzan's dirty tricks are going to convince him or work on him. I also love that the spirit of all the Hashira and his friends push him up. They're pushing Tanjiro towards the surface, whereas out of the darkness, Muzan is being pulled back into hell. They're like, hey, you lost, bitch. Come down here. You lost. And the most important hand that grabs him, of course, is his sister Nezuko, who Muzan keeps trying to convince to give up, but he ends up being left in the darkness and crying out at one point for Tanjiro not to leave him, which again was very hilarious. And full circle, that Nezuko, like I said, is the one to bring Tanjiro back. Tanjiro survives, surrounded by many friends and demon slayers. Thankfully, their job has come to an end. All demons have ceased to exist with the death of Muzan, with the death of the king of the demons. Hilariously, Zenitsu then announces that he will make him pay for what he did to his wife Nezuko, to which Nezuko reacts like, wife, what the fuck? I don't know you. That made me laugh. That was another genuine great gag that the story is going to finish on. And also, I was wrong. Kano survived. I had that in my notes. I guess like she didn't die and join her sister, so that's good. Kano's still alive out there. The survivors so far seem to be Lady Tamio's lover and her cat, who kisses an item that she left behind. Very cute, very wholesome. Zenitsu, Kano, Nezuko, Tanjiro, Gyo, Saname, and several other few demon slayers and Kakashi survived. But everybody else is dead. That's Kanjuri, that's Igor, that's Gayome. I don't know if there's anybody else. I mean, Tengen's alive. They didn't make it to Battlefield, and so is Rengoku's father. He never made it to Battlefield either. So now we get to the time skip parts. 3 months later, our heroes are resting. The world is free of demons, but at the cost of many heroes' lives. Tanjiro has lost sight in one eye, and his opposite arm is wrinkled and useless. It's the arm that was cut off and turned into a demonic arm. It didn't. It's just useless now. It's a useless arm. Nezuko is completely fine, and it turns out that it's lucky that Tanjiro did bite Nezuko first, because not only was her blood filled with antibodies from being turned into human and, like, you know, immune to the sun, having her humanity and also still having the drug inside of her body is what also helped Tanjiro turn back into human and fight Muzan's control. So narratively, that makes sense. Nezuko was just turned back into a human. She had the drug inside of her body. She had her humanity as a demon, so it makes sense that Tanjiro was able to fight back against Muzan even as the king of demons. Very great. If it had bitten anyone else, though, Tanjiro and all the demon slayers and Hashira on their legs would have basically died, because Tanjiro would have virtually been invincible. So it was lucky that he bit Nezuko out of anybody. I also love the banter between Yushiro, which is Lady Tamio's lover, and Tanjiro. After he tells him this, he's like, you fought valiantly, and Tanjiro's like, no, I had help. And he's like, idiot, I was just being nice. I don't like you at all. I hate your face. Let's never meet again. And Tanjiro sees through the facade and tells him that he hopes he lives a good life. And that was very cute, because Oh yeah, he also said something like, "Oh, your sister's actually pretty cute, by the way," because that was Tanjiro's whole thing. Like with Yushiro, was like he called Nezuko ugly because he only saw Lady Otome as beautiful. Like she was the only woman he saw and thought was beautiful. Whereas Tanjiro was like, "Oh, you're gonna call my sister beautiful one day. You're gonna see that she's very cute, very very great, very cute." Then we go over to the master's son's house, who has taken the place of his father with his sisters to have a last and final meeting with the Hashira. The only Hashira left, Yu and Saname. Everybody else has died. All the other Hashira are dead. And as suspected, it's simply to disband them, which makes sense. That's their final meeting. I thought that was great. I also love that all the children bow in respect and they weep and cry because they're children. They're like literal kids that now have to take on the roles that their father and mothers did. And they lost their father and mother in this war against demons. Like, they're like, we have to go up on our own now. It's very sad, but very powerful, and it makes sense that they would cry. We then flash back over to Tanjiro in bed, and he's visited by Tengen and his 3 wives. I'm glad that one of my 3 favorite characters is alive, because like I said, Tengen wasn't in the war at all. I wish he kind of was. I wish he did something relevant, but he did say he was done after he fought the brother and sister demon. But he's then visited also by Sengoku and his father, Rengoku's little brother, and they have come to pay their respects to Tanjiro, who also seems to have mended their relationship together. Like the father and the son are getting along now, which will make Rengoku happy, and it makes Tanjiro happy as well. And lastly, he's visited by everyone from the Swordsmith Village, including the guy who always fixed his Zord. He fixed his Zord and got angry with him. Very cute, very great, and had some hilarious banter. Now, let's talk about this, like, shipping teasing, because I'm not really about anime shipping. I don't care for that shit, but there is some teasing shipping here. And Inosuke is teased to be with one of Shinobu's sisters who offers him food, like the way they share this, like, look at each other. I think it's also teasing that Tanjiro's going to be with Kano, who's inherited the snake Hashira Igor's pet. Like, it's teasing that they're going to be together. Kind of random, but I mean, I guess it makes sense because, like, again, Tanjiro saved her, and in a way, she saved Tanjiro as well with the drug additionally helping her. Saname and Nezuko also repair their relationship. It's a very cute moment where as he sees Genya and Nezuko, and he rubs her hair. Like, because that, like, Saname, again, was the one that, like, almost made Nezuko drink his blood, but she kept her humanity. And again, Saname being an older sibling and Nezuko being the younger sibling to Tanjiro, he's like, yeah, I can see my brother in you. I see that relationship in you. Zenitsu hilariously sees this and gets upset. So I thought that was pretty funny. Like, he's like, that's my wife. And again, she's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And finally, Gyu, the former Water Hashira, Nezuko, and Tanjiro all share a heartfelt moment. They all hug each other. Very great, because again, these characters started the series together. In the very first chapter, very first 10 chapters I read, very first chapter 1, I think, at all. In the end, they all plant flowers to pay respects to the fallen demon slayers. There's a hilarious panel of Inosuke speed running to deliver all the flowers so they can go home together, which they call disrespectful. They're like, don't rush to drop these flowers. Like, put the flowers down individually. Like, that's how you pay respects to people that died. Before they all finally go home to live together and have a happy ending. The end. Sort of. So before we talk about this flash forward, before we talk about the one shot, I want to talk about my thoughts on Demon Slayer. I initially never wanted to read this manga. I initially had no interest in Demon Slayer. I thought it was... I hated the Zenitsu cosplayers shouting Nezuko everywhere they went. I thought the Inosuke cosplayers were hot. They were always these ripped ass dudes with that boar head on their face. When they took out that boar head, they really were hot. They were hot as fuck. Them dudes were sexy, cosplay accurate. And I thought Tanjiro was a little bitch. I thought he whined too much. I thought he was annoying. He got on my nerves. Actually reading it though, after getting into the Demon Slayer, watching the Mugen Train movie, like, that's what got me into Demon Slayer, watching that movie. As I said at the beginning of my video, in my very first Demon Slayer video, after Mugen Train, I got into, like, wanting to watch the manga. And then when I got to Swordsmith Village, I was like, this is going too slow. It was way too much fighting going on, so I started reading the manga. And I'm so glad I started reading, because I've surpassed the Swordsmith Village. I've now finished all of Demon Slayer, and I'm very happy. This is a very great and excellent manga, especially the final war arc. If you have not read Demon Slayer, if I have not convinced you to read it or watch it, definitely check it out. It ain't the big three, but it's definitely one of the greatest manga I've ever read, for sure. Now, let's talk about this time skip and then this random one-shot. So apparently, Conjuro and Igor might be alive, or they have some descendants, or this is like a alternate universe. I'm very confused. We check on the perspective of the next generation of our main characters' children, reading their grandparents' stories and how they fought and demons and brought peace to the world. Of course, they don't believe that demons exist. They think their grandfathers and grandparents are just telling stories because they're like, the demons no longer exist. Demon Slayer Corpse no longer exists because Muzan's been killed. So, of course, they get to live in bliss and harmony. There's some gags about finding the blue spider lily that withered away like after 2 or 3 days, and a lot of background characters that remind you of all the Hashira that died. So, again, I'm thinking alternate universe because we've already got confirmation that all the Hashira are dead. And again, the blue spider lily, just a plot device because we never see it. It never does anything. And this like last thing talking about it, I was like, that's kind of random. It's a bit confusing because many of them are confirmed to be dead, as I said. So they're either reincarnations or there's like an alternate universe. But the last panel is like a new version of Tanjiro, or like a descendant of Tanjiro and a descendant of Rengoku, or that looks like Rengoku. They're like best friends and they're like racing to school. Didn't really understand that time skip. Again, it doesn't make sense unless it's alternate universe or something, because the Hashira are confirmed to be dead. Unless they had kids off screen. Again, it could be possible they had sex off screen and had kids, but it doesn't make sense. Lastly, talking about the one-shot. The one-shot is about Rengoku and a random demon that he fought and a lesson he learned, but that one-shot was very short and made no sense, and I felt like I got nothing out of it. Compared to the one-shot about Minato and Kushina, how they fell in love, how he got the name of the Rasengan, and like how we learned that the first Hokage's wife was one of the original Jinchuriki holders of the Nine-Tailed Fox. The Bleach one-shot where everybody that ever died in Bleach went to hell and now coming back as like hell variants. Very cool. There might be a One Piece one-shot eventually. There might be a My Hero Academia one-shot when My Hero Academia officially ends. But this one-shot made no sense, so I didn't really feel like talking about it. Anyways, guys, I have nothing else to say about Demon Slayer. All I can say is definitely read it if you have not. This is one of the greatest manga I've ever read. Very entertaining. I loved it so much. I had a great time with it. I hope you enjoyed my videos. I hope you enjoyed me talking about Demon Slayer. After this, we're going to get back into Dr. Stone. We're going to catch back up in Dr. Stone, and then we're going to move on to Tokyo Ghoul. Once I catch up where I'm at in my videos with Dr. Stone, that's what we'll be talking about next. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my review and talk about Demon Slayer. I might have spoiled some things for some people, but again, Demon Slayer has been out for a long time. It's finished a long time ago. These are just my thoughts on the manga that I liked, and some scenes that I thought were interesting, and it's just my perspective. Again, I read this pretty fast. I'm guarantee you guys could, because by the time I got to Swordsmith Village, I basically caught up, and you guys have seen my videos. Anyways, that's all for now. See you guys in the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.